Well, what's up guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. This is a 2022 Honda Pilot Elite all-wheel drive. This is basically the highest end trim that Honda makes as far as their Pilot. There's another one that's called the Black Edition, but they're basically just the trim changes on some of them. So for some of you that you know me, you've been following the channel for a while, you know that the first ever car review that I've done was for 2019 Honda Pilot Touring, and that's basically because it's my own vehicle. And today I'm going to check it out and see if Honda has made any changes to this year's Honda Pilot. Now, it has been overdue for redesign based on the previous Honda model cycle. They usually went 5 years, so 2016, when this body style was introduced, should be in 2020. Now 2021 was the same, 2022 looks exactly the same. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of it to find out if there is any changes that Honda has done to this generation Honda Pilot. So if you're ready, let's go. Well guys, if you've been following Honda Pilot, you know that this entered the United States market back in 2003, and I was fortunate enough to work for Honda back then. And I gotta tell you, I was super excited about getting a sport utility other than the CR-V added to the Honda lineup. Now since 2003, there's been this is the third redesign and a few mid-model year refreshes, just like they did for 2019, and that's the first model year of basically this body style. That's the one that we own, well, my family owns basically. Steel gray color, I really like it. It's not too dark, it's not too bright, really doesn't show dirt. So if you're looking for one, I can certainly recommend this color. It has this bulge in the middle and kind of both indentations on both sides. Now as far as the lights, the same lights. Okay, you do have this LED signature lights right in here. Looks really nice and sharp, especially when you're looking at it in the dark. Now, super bright LED lights right in here. Fog lights are standard on the Touring Elite. Okay, now you do have the turn signals that are right here. So there's a lot of going on in the front end, but I gotta tell you, at night it illuminates the road so nicely. I'm not even kidding. Now you do have a little bit of this matte gray or matte black trim that goes around here. Now this is a design element. I wish this was functional. So this could actually help with cooling off the brakes, the wheel well, etc. Now it does have this nice distinct chrome grille in here and this big Honda logo. Now behind this logo is where all the Honda sensing technology, at least most of it, hides, and that's standard basically throughout the lineup, starting with the basic Honda Pilot LX. Right at the bottom here you have a little bit of this mesh black grille in here and kind of the polished aluminum bottom side of that front bumper in here, and that's pretty much it. All right, so let's check out under the hood. Before we do that, I'm gonna ding it for that prop stick. First of all, it's kind of like in the middle of things. Second of all, it doesn't really lift up the hood really high, so I mean, they should do hydraulic lift on all of the cars right now, and you know I'm a stickler about it. As far as the engine, it looks the same thing as mine. It doesn't have this Honda Earth Dreams as on my vehicle, but it's essentially the same engine. It's a 3.5 liter engine, 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. What's interesting about it, it also has this VCM system, which is basically stands for variable cylinder management, and that allows that VTEC to turn off some of the cylinders, let's say at cruising speed, to help with the performance with gasoline usage. So now you have 1926, that's your gas mileage, 22 combined, basically the same thing as mine, and we actually get it. So it's pretty cool to know it firsthand. So no changes have been done on the side of this vehicle. Still the same. It's still great looking if you ask me. It does have the particular model does have the 20-inch wheels. Now the cross-contract Continental tires on this particular one, I gotta tell you, same tires we have on ours, really nice, really quiet. We're pretty good. I mean, we still have, you know, a lot of tread left, and we're at 26,000 miles on ours. Now let's look at this cladding, this plastic cladding around the wheels, both front and rear. Now it also continues at the bottom of the doors. That prevents that portion of the door from being scratched up. Now to break it up a little bit, Honda decided to put a little bit of a chrome trim at the bottom, as well as the chrome door handles. That's on the higher end trim, and that's equipped with this Honda Smart Entry system. So you press the button, it unlocks the door. You press the button, it locks the door. Okay, it does not have the automatic folding mirrors, which is kind of you know, unfortunate. I wish it did have it. The turn signals are right on the side of the mirror caps. Top of the mirror caps is the same color as the rest of the vehicle. Bottom on this particular trim is that shiny black. They do have a little bit of chrome around, and as you can see, I mean, Honda decided to use the black pillars right here, just kind of to make that continuity as far as the visibility of this vehicle. So when you view it, it looks almost like one piece, which it's not, of course. And really nice feature of this Pilot, I gotta tell you, you might not even think about it, but these are this little triangle, or maybe not triangle, but these windows right in front, right above the mirror. That gives you so much more visibility. I can't even tell you, but when you drive it, you'll see it. When you take it for a test drive, just pay attention to it. It's pretty cool. So nothing really crazy about this. We've seen it before. Let's check out the roominess in the back. Let's check out the back of this vehicle. I gotta tell you, I like it because it's nice and pretty much straight down. It does have this gate spoiler right here with the brake light incorporated right in here. Kind of wish that the wiper was hidden underneath here, but maybe that's coming for the next generation. Now the lights are the same. Okay, there's no differences. If you look at the Pilot, basically everything like 2019 and higher will have this in clear. Basically the ones before that were all red. So this is a full LED tail light. Now the only ones that are not LED, and you can see this incandescent bulb, is the turn signal. Not sure why, but that's, they decided to do it this way. Now the reverse lights are right here. Pilot on one side, this particular one is Elite all-wheel drive. Honda emblem right here. You can see the rear view camera is in here and the bottom of it. Okay, it does have a little bit of this polished aluminum trim, a little bit of a chrome reflector right here, and that's pretty much it. You can't see the exhaust. I mean, they're hidden underneath the bumper, which is probably a good thing. Okay, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. The way you open the gate on the higher trims, like this one is the highest end trim, you can open that via remote. You can open that in the inside of the vehicle. You can also open it by waving your foot underneath here, and most of the time it works. I do have a key with me. There you go. It worked right now. So it opens up pretty slowly, but it opens up nice and tall. I can fit underneath here. I'm 6 feet tall, and let's check out how much room we have here. So roominess was actually one of the main reasons why we went with the Honda Pilot. It's just because it has more room than most of these mid-size or larger mid-size SUVs, and it's got some hidden compartments right here. Like, check it out. Okay, there's got another compartment right underneath here. My wife's favorite feature of this vehicle, because she can hide stuff in here, and trust me, it's filled all the time. Sorry honey, but that's true. All right, so what else do we have here? You do have the 12-volt power outlet right here. Seats fold down nice and easy. You see the strap right here. Basically you pull it and then you let the seats go. If I were to complain about something, I would like to have the buttons, at least maybe on the higher end trims, to fold down the middle row seats. But plenty of room in here. It's very wide. It's probably wider than most of the vehicles in its class, and it's tall. So I mean, we've carried our share of things in there. I gotta tell you, what's nice about it too, okay, I'm gonna get in the third row seat to show you how big or small they are. We'll check it out, but you can see that they all have their own cup holders on both sides. Okay, you do have the You also have like the AC vents right on the side here, you can see it. So this is nice because you have your own vents, and especially for the third row seat, that's important. Well, all right, so in the back of this vehicle, roominess is really not an issue, especially in the second row seat. I gotta tell you, the seats are nice, they're comfortable, they're adjusted in several different ways. You can move in front, you can move in back. I have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I probably have about 3 inches or more in front of my knees. Plenty of headroom, I'm 6 feet tall. And, you know, even with this sunroof in the back, which I'm gonna show you in just a second, that does have several inches above my head. Shoulder room, it's not an issue. This is a 7-seater configuration, so we do have 2 captain chairs. So let's check out the rest of this interior. All right, so let's start with the back door. I gotta tell you, this probably would not be my first color choice just because it's got too much black in here. It's kind of like one color and you can't see the differences. But you do have the plastic in here. You do have that leather wrap here, as well as on the door armrest. You have cup holders right on top of here, a little bit of a storage right at the bottom. My favorite feature, one of my favorite features of this vehicle right here is the sunshade. Okay, it is a manual sunshade and it's for the rear second rows only, not the third rows, but it's actually very useful in here. Like I said, the seat adjusts several different ways, move back and forth, you can recline it, etc. 2 captain chairs, okay, nicely leather trimmed, perforated leather on this one. Mine has actually a solid leather on the seats just because it's not a Touring Elite model. Now, I'm not sure why they have perforated in the back, because they're only heated seats in the back. They're heated and ventilated in the front. And then you have this console right here. So check it out. You can set your own temperature. You can set your own fan speed, the vents, all that stuff. And the important part is you can lock it from the front, so there are no worse to be fought if you have kids, and you know what I mean, in the back over the temperature fan, etc. Now, this vehicle comes standard, well, on this trim level, with this rear entertainment system. And this is probably the best babysitter that you can invest in. I gotta tell you, I love it. Comes with wireless headphones, but in case you want a wired one, you have the outlets right at the bottom here for the wired headphones. You also have, here, let me give you a close-up of it. Here, so you have the USB ports on the right-hand side of this 115-volt power outlet, which is your basic household outlet. And you have the HDMI port, which is right here. And I gotta tell you, okay, I figured out a way to actually connect my phone and play YouTube videos through here. Genius. Well, I'm not a genius, I just looked it up on YouTube. And what else do we have here? We have this middle console right here, and I left the key in here purposely so I don't forget to talk about the key, because the key is the same as it was in the previous generation, but I like it. Lock, unlock, gate, does have the remote starter. That's standard on this Touring and Touring Elite. And we do have plenty of storage space right here where this key sits. Now, how do we get in the back seat? Okay, so let's check it out. There's one touch operation. Boom. It moves the seat forward. Okay, and it gives you plenty of room to get in the third row seat. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. But first, I'm gonna start this car so I don't cook in there. Let's check it out. Let's check out the roominess in the third row seat. And let me move this seat back. Okay. And it's there. The seat is definitely for temporary use only. But I gotta tell you, if I move this seat front a little bit, probably by about an inch or so, I might have enough room not to touch my knees to the back of the seat, and that's a big plus. Now, if it's a 7-seater like this configuration right here, 7 adults will not fit in comfortably. 6 would. 2, 2, and 2. The third one would definitely be for a child. But if you have kids, this vehicle's got more room than most of the mid-size SUVs in its class. And I'm talking about the Tellurides, Palisades, Highlanders, the new Pathfinder. I think this one has the most room out of them all. If not, it's very much probably in the top 10% of this. Now, love the vents that are out here because it cools me up. I can adjust them to blow different ways, and you know, if I want my face cold in here, that's pretty cool too. Okay, old style lights. Okay, these are not on right now. I think I have them turned off in the front, and it does have this sunroof right here. This is a fixed roof in the back. It does have a regular sunroof in the front, but this one they call like a dual panoramic moonroof in here. So let's get up in the front. Let's see where the magic happens. Oh, how do I get out? There's a button for that too. Press the button. Look, it moves the seat forward. I can just easily get out of here. All right, so the vehicle is running, but let's check out the door and how it sounds. Okay, pretty nice, very solid, very nice fit and finish on this. And what do we have on the front door? I mean, we do have the same trim, of course, as on the rear door, with the addition of a little bit of this piano black, a little bit, you know, not my favorite. 2 memory seat settings, I have that on my vehicle as well. You have the window controls, door controls. That's where you open your gate, that's where you open your gas tank, right in here. Okay, you do have the 10-way power adjustment for the driver's seat, and that's where you open your hood, and here's what happens. Now, the mirrors can fall down, okay? So this is like a feature that I don't have on my Pilot, but you can press it, they'll fall down. They don't do it automatically. Maybe there's a setting in the system over there. We'll check it out. So you do have the parking sensors, you do have a lane keep assist. You can turn off that collision warning off. You can turn off the traction control off if you'd like to. All right, it almost feels like I'm sitting in my own vehicle, and I gotta tell you, it's not a bad thing, because this truck, it's just as many vehicles as I review, this kind of reminds me of why we chose this over the competition at its time, and that's simply because it was ahead of its competition. Now you gotta think about it. The new Highlander weren't out yet, the new Palisade wasn't out there, the new Telluride wasn't out there, the new Pathfinder, well, I said Pathfinder already, but so there are cars that vehicles that came out, SUVs that came out after this, but this is still a very much modern SUV. Check it out, the interior of it. I gotta tell you, okay, comparing the quality, this is a soft plastic right here, right on top of here as well. Okay, you do have a little bit of this piano black. This is a hard plastic, but that's pretty much standard across the line, but nice trim. Even on the door, how it looks, how it fits with the rest of this vehicle. Fit and finish, definitely nice. We've had ours for 3 years. There's no squeaks, there's no rattles, there's anything like this. You probably would like to have maybe a little bit bigger screen, maybe a little bit brighter, more features. We'll get through that. And you know, the steering wheel, when you drive the vehicle, I gotta tell you, the steering wheel feels really nice. It's nice to the touch, it's just the right size, it's got features on it that you know you need, and maybe some that you don't, but let's check them out. So on the left hand side, you do have basically your controls of what's going on in that screen in front. We're going to check it out. That's basically where your home button, your back button is, in case you get lost in that menu system over there. Now you have your phone controls in here. Now here is the cruise control, adaptive cruise control. You basically also have your heated steering wheel, which I don't have on my car, so that's a change. Now main screen right here, so top right there where it says 0, that's basically your speedometer. Above that you can see, I'm going to rev it up, and you can see how that tachometer works right there. Okay, it's basically a digital display. This is basically your home button right here, your trip computer, all-wheel drive torque. That's pretty cool, because this will display of which wheels are getting the torque to them, or getting the power to it, and that's pretty cool to watch while driving. It's a brand new vehicle. Look, it's got 5 miles on, 84 degrees outside. That's your temperature setting. Temperature, of course, for the coolant is right there as well, and gas gauge is right on the right hand side. What else do we have in the settings? And here you can select phone navigation. That's basically, if you set up the navigation in the main screen, it's going to give you like turn-by-turn direction in here, which is pretty cool. And now playing maintenance, just going to tell you the tire pressure, oil life. Okay, it's probably 100%. There you go. And it's going to remind you as you're getting closer to the maintenance. Kind of annoying, but you know, that's what it's for, right? To remind you not to forget about the upcoming maintenance. So on the right hand side, you see this 9-inch display, basically. Pretty easy to navigate through. So here's your home button right here, and this is your home menu. So you have navigation, phone, rear entertainment, settings, FM, Bluetooth, audio, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both wired. Okay, that actually worked pretty well. I use the Android Auto all the time just because I like Google Maps better than anything else. Trip computer messages, social playlist, AM, system updates, USB, My Honda Music, clock, cabin talk. Cabin talk's pretty cool feature. That's basically projects your voice to either speakers or headphones. So if you have little ones sitting in the back and they're kind of ignoring you, they're wearing headphones, you just press the headphones button and say, hey guys, attention please, and then they'll hear it. Maybe they'll pay attention to you. So let's go back to the main menu. Navigation is really nice, really easy to use. It's Garmin powered, you know, basically where to. You just basically set it up, whether you want to put the address or, you know, point of interest, anything like this, that's where you do it. And you can set up your home button. Basically, this is cool because we always come back from somewhere and I go like, I'll just put go home. Hopefully it'll take us home. Well, it's not going to do it by itself, but it will definitely help you get home. So rear entertainment, okay, this is pretty cool system. Okay, it does have, now when I told you that there's an HDMI function in the back, if you want kids, because you know nobody has DVDs anymore, we still have the old ones, but really don't go for the new ones. But if you have the settings in here like HDMI, and if you have like Samsung phone, which what I have, you just basically plug in the HDMI, you hit the HDMI as a source, and it's going to show you on the screen whatever you have playing on your phone. So that's pretty cool. So you can play YouTube videos or Netflix or whatever you have on your phone. So kind of a shortcut to it. So other than that, everything is pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing crazy about it. You know, let's see if anything changed in the settings. Okay, camera display, sound notification. Let's check out the camera if it's going to open it up. Rear camera, default camera, guidelines on, cross traffic monitor on. This is pretty cool, and you know it helped us avoid collision more than one time. Well, speaking of the camera, let's put it in reverse so you don't have to check it out later. It's the same camera, okay, only basically 3 different settings for the camera right here. So you can have the wide view, you can have the top down, or you can have the narrow view camera right here. Okay, the rear cross traffic alert. Okay, that's basically whenever the vehicle is coming from either direction, it's going to start making noises, alert you that there's something coming from here. Okay, well, let's put it back in park. That's your rear view camera. At the bottom right here, you have your shortcuts for your basically HVAC system, so your heating, ventilating, air conditioning, all that stuff. Really nice. It cools down the vehicle really quickly, and the remote start, it comes really handy, you know, especially here in Florida in the hot summer days right here. So basically you can sync it. Now when I said that you can lock your rear temperature and nobody's going to be able to play it, see that lock appeared right here. I can unlock it and let them play around with it, or if I lock it, hey, too bad. Daddy or mommy basically have the final say in what it is. At the bottom here, there's the difference between mine and this one. This one has ventilated seats. They're actually pretty cool. I have them on. As you can see, there's 3-stage ventilated, 3-stage heated seats for both driver and passenger. This is your DVD player. You have a power outlet right at the bottom of here, and this is something that I don't have in mine. This is your wireless charging system for your phone. So cup holders right here, decent size, nothing crazy. All right, and then we do have your regular shifter. Well, it's not regular, it's a button shifter, which a lot of people don't like. I kind of got used to it. This one is obviously park, reverse, neutral, drive, and sport mode, so you can select it. Now you also have different modes in here, so let's check out what happens when I push this button right here. But I also want to tell you that this does have this automatic engine off and on feature. You can disable it through here. All right, so change the modes in here. So you have the normal, snow, mud, and sand. Same thing as I have on my vehicle. Kind of gives you the cool animation of a vehicle driving through different conditions in here. And we actually tried the snow one once, and that actually made a difference, kind of big difference too. Huge storage compartment right here, probably bigger than anything else that I've seen. And then you do have another power outlet, another auxiliary outlet, and a 2.5 amp charger for your USB device. And this is nice and rubber lined too, so stuff is not going to be basically running all over the place in here. And if you don't want to see it, okay, this nice trim slides open, closed, and there you go. This is it. This is the interior of it. The only other thing that I want to show you is the sunroof. So you do have two sunroofs with the Elite model. The first one, okay, is right here, and you can certainly open it up. Okay, there you go. The one thing that I would like to have is a bigger air scarf right in here, kind of to protect the wind from getting in here. But I gotta tell you, this one I don't have, and I'm not sure if I would use it much, but this is a pretty cool feature that it had so much light into the back of this vehicle, it's not even funny. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's two sunroofs, front and back. What else do you have here? This is a feature that even though we have the ability to turn around, we use it all the time. This is your kids' mirror basically, so you can see the occupants in the back seats, and it also serves as your sunglasses holder, so it's pretty cool. You have the Honda link right here and the assist button. Okay, then you have your moonroof controls. You also have the lights, LED lights right in here, and that's it. This is the interior of it. Let's take it for a spin. Okay, guys, before we take it for a spin, let's take a look at the trim levels that are available, because from what I see, that's where the big difference is. Huge difference. When I was buying my Pilot back in 2020, or 2019, I should say, they had the LX, EX, EXL, then they had the Touring Elite, and they didn't even have the black. Oh, they did have the black edition. They just started out with that. Now, if you look at Pilot right here on Honda's website, they only show me EXL, Special Edition, Touring, Elite, and the Black Edition. So that's where your differences are too in the lineup. EXL, if that's the starting point, that's basically a very nicely equipped vehicle. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind it is. If they don't have the LX, a lot of people were not looking for, leather and the upscale features of the Pilot. They were looking for just a basic larger SUV. So the EXL starts at $39,060, Special Edition starts at $39,660, and that basically adds the wireless phone charger, hands-free access power gate, black roof rails, and 20-inch wheels to the EXL Touring, which is basically the one that I have as a rear entertainment system, heated front and rear seats, 10-speaker, 590-watt stereo, LED headlights with auto on feature. And basically this model, in addition to what I have my Pilot, adds the panoramic sunroof, second row captain chairs, which mine has. That was a $600 option, I believe. Heated and ventilated front seats, and instead of just heated steering wheel. And this one starts at $49,120, and that's basically as equipped as it can be. The Black Edition, which is basically the trim edition, so it does have the Black Edition exterior trim, leather trim, 20-inch black alloy wheels, and the red ambient lighting instead of a blue ambient lighting, which you have in this Pilot right here, which actually looks pretty cool at night. Well, we'll take it for a spin, and we'll start off with the turning radius right here. Now, I don't have the lines painted in here, but I gotta tell you, I'm pretty good about estimating the turning radius on the Pilot comparing to some of the other vehicles. So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's basically 4 parking spaces. So it is known, Honda's been known for their tight turning radius, turning diameter, and I gotta tell you, that makes sense. I mean, it handles so well in comparison to some of the other vehicles. Now, I've reviewed, since I reviewed my Pilot, which is back in 2020 when I started this channel, and I've reviewed over 130 cars since then. Many of them were SUVs, and every time I look at a SUV, I go like, okay, is it gonna be something that we're gonna be considering replacing our Pilot with? Now, a lot of this is gonna be out the window, because a lot of them we simply can't afford. But a lot of them that came out after this, I can't wait what Honda is gonna do for 2023 for it. But before we get to it, let's take it for a quick run here, and let's see. I mean, just like driving my car. I mean, I'm so used to it. It's so nice and quiet. And I'm going to tell you, it even does have what they call a sport mode. So basically, when you in the drive mode, you hit that drive button one more time, it's going to switch it over to sport mode. It's going to kind of switch up the shifting a little bit on this vehicle. It's going to be more responsive. It's going to be a little bit louder. Let's see if once we get on that side road, if we're going to be able to check that out. But going back to the competitors, they've done a tremendous job. A lot of SUVs and a lot of manufacturers. So this is probably the most competitive and the most sought after market, the larger family SUVs. And certainly Honda, even without being redesigned for this year, is a very much worthy competitor to the rest of them. It very much looks still fresh, still modern. It drives great. It's got great reviews. We really have no problems with our Pilot, with the exception of they did a recall for the infotainment system. There was some wiring that needed to be replaced, which was taken care of by the dealership or by Honda, and no issues since then. Gas mileage, we're really getting what they're saying that we're gonna get, which is about 22 combined. It's definitely as advertised, and I can say it firsthand. I definitely would recommend the Pilot for someone who's looking for a family sport utility. And well, I'm gonna put it in this sport mode right here, and as you can hear, it's getting a little bit more aggressive as far as the driving. Sometimes I don't like the jerkiness of it because the regular mode is plenty for me. I'm not using this vehicle to race. We're probably gonna wait till the new Honda Pilot comes out, the redesigned one, before we make a decision whether we're gonna stick with the Honda brand or we're gonna go with something else. So far, so good. I mean, no issues whatsoever. Definitely would recommend it to anyone who's looking for one. Well guys, that will wrap up this video. As you can see, we're doing some slight off-roading. Light bumps on the road. That's about as much off-road as most of the people will do on a vehicle like this. And see them going off-road or in the mud, rocks, terrain, anything like this. But with the all-wheel drive system, if you do get stuck in the snow, certainly chances of you getting out of it are much higher than with the regular front-wheel drive. Well, this will wrap up this review, refresh, walk around of this 2022 Honda Pilot Touring. Again, big thanks to Henrik Honda of Bradenton, Florida, for providing me with this vehicle. Guys, check them guys out. I know everybody's struggling with the inventory. At the time of the filming, they still have a few Pilots left, but they're going like hotcakes, like all the cars right now. But if you like watching videos like this, consider checking out the rest of my channel. If you like it, consider subscribing. If you're a subscriber already, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I will see you in my next video. Cheers.